So, for many years on the 4th of July, I have, usually in a public park, read the Constitution, the Declaration, and the Bill of Rights. And starting around 2007, people joined in Central Park. We started at Strawberry Fields. Now we're here in front of the Women's Suffragettes. And we have the Granny Peace Brigade and the Raging Grannies. And what we generally do is read a lot of the parts of the Declaration, the Constitution, and the 27 Amendments. But today, we're not going to do that. Today is different. It's different because of what's happening in our country. And it is our country. And so, what we want to do today is read some relevant parts of those documents, but we also want to read at least a couple of the Supreme Court decisions, especially the immunity one. It really changes a lot about what America is. Yes, it's a clear and present danger to our democracy. And if time allows, I want to have a discussion about some of these cases. I want to talk about how the Supreme Court, and you'll hear this over and over again, 6-3, the ideological split, and what does that mean for us, for other Americans? We live in New York, it's a bubble. That's not what the rest of America is about. So how do we relate to that, and what's the future? So we'll do readings, but they won't be necessarily primarily on the documents, because we have to recognize something is changing and we have to adjust to it. And on the immunity case, there's a lot of nuances, and therefore I think it's important that we understand some of these nuances, because that's going to determine what's an official act, what's not an official act. So with that, let's begin. So with regard to the Declaration of Independence, I would like someone to come up and read a couple of the parts of the Declaration, and then we'll move on to certain parts of the Constitution. So whatever in yellow, and she has a great voice, you'll hear.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and women, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, rich white laborers, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form.
Well, wait, but I want you to conclude it in the last paragraph, which is the independence.
We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right out to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do.
All right, well, thank you.